Alright, so welcome back. On today's video, we're going to try to do 4 different things, which would be number 1, getting this third member together, which I'm going to have to grind this housing a little bit because this Detroit locker gets awfully close there, and I'm going to have some adjustment to be able to set the backlash on that, so that's not going to work. So I'll have to do a little bit of modification to that, and then I can get that together. I have the socket for this pinion nut. I had to go get a new one because I didn't have one that would fit inside of that yoke there. So get all that done. That's the first thing. And then Bobby's going to take this copper tube here and make little ends for my wiring instead of buying a whole bunch of separate ones, because this right here is $5 versus like $3 a piece, and we can make a ton of ends out of this. So then we can get that wiring ran. So that would be the second thing we get done. And then the third thing we're going to do is get this fuel hose in there, which I'm still missing a section of 10 AN to go from the tank to the pump, but that'll be all right. At least I'll have that ran for the most part since we have the gas tank mounted. But the fourth thing that we're going to do, which is probably the most exciting part, is we're going to test fire this thing again. We did it the other day, but we couldn't get it to idle right. So today we're going to screw around with the tune a little bit more to try to get that drive-by cable conversion working. And then we're going to start it up. So you'll be able to see that too, which is going to be freaking awesome. So, so watch till the end and like and subscribe. That's important because that gets us to do more stuff. So anyhow, let's get this crap done, get it in the car, and then let's hear this baby purr. All right, so the very first thing that we need to do is we need to get these 2 bearings pressed on here. Well, the bottom bearing, and then then we'll get the other bearing on there whenever we're putting it together, because you have to use this doodad right here to space those bearings to put the right amount of preload on them. So what we'll be doing is getting that bearing pressed on, putting that on there, putting this on here, putting it inside of here, and then we have to put the nut on, and then basically we have to spin this with a dial torque wrench to be able to see how much, how much pressure it takes to spin this. So I'll be looking that spec up on the computer there, and then when we get to that point, we'll do all that. So let me go ahead and get this all sorted out. I would take you into the garage to show you the pressing of the bearing, but the garage is still a stinking mess. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, put that on there like that. I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to put it on my press. Bada bing, bada boom. Press that down to there, and here in just 1 second you're going to see that as a installed bearing. So let's get right to that. And there it is, all installed. So not too bad to do, really simple. Now all I need to do is take that, set it right there, put this over top of that. Well, when I actually go to do the full thing, I'm gonna use some gear oil on these to lube them up a little bit, but this is just to show you guys. So have that on there. This little guy slides down here, and then we have to take out whatever other spacers that we need. This goes on there. Bada bing, bada boom. And last but not least, we'll do the seal, but I'm not ready for that yet. So this will go onto here like that. Get the nut tight, and then we get to see how much preload is on that. And then once we know we have that figured out, then we can fully assemble this unit, get it popped into there, and then we're going to check and see how much backlash we have on the ring there, and then we'll have to grind that little bearing carrier section for this part of the diff there. So let's get right into it. Let's get this done, get that in there, and get this thing rocking and rolling. got that all put together and got it to 25 inch-pounds of preload, which, I mean, I hope that's right. I mean, I looked it up and that's about all I could find, kind of the middle area. I mean, there's one guy with a 28 spline deal, he's saying about 15 to 18, but this is a big bearing 35 spline. So if that's wrong, let me know in the comments. I mean, maybe one of you guys know. It's going to be easy to change. Obviously, the car's not going to be up and going for a while, so all I'll have to do is just get in there, pop this sucker back out, because it'll pretty much be, all I got to do is take these bolts out and slide it out, and I can change that. So, got the red Loctite on the nut, got the seal installed, and that's ready to go into there. So, all I have to do is get the little pinion support bearing back here kind of pressed in the rest of the way, and then get the retainer in there, and then slide that in, and then when we can start working on our backlash on this. And since this is a used ring and pinion, all these little marks that were originally put in it, you can see a little bit of surface rust kind of on them. We have to match that back up to those because those are already set in. So if we don't do that, that's not going to be good. And the other thing that we need to do is change all these bolts that hold the ring on, because I got new ones. So let's get those in there, get the red Loctite on them, then we'll work on that backlash, get this done, then we'll slap it in the car and work on the rest of it. And then also, Bobby got the beautiful, beautiful little eyelets done. I mean, maybe not the most beautiful thing, but but hey, that's better than spending a whole bunch of money on something that we can just make in the garage. So that'll work perfect. So that's sweet. So let's get that done. Let's get this thing in there. Okay, so there it is, completely assembled, good to go. We got about right around 7-8 thousandths of backlash. Was trying to go for about 5 to 8, so that's good with me. And then as far as the preload on these bearings here, on the carrier bearings, I got about somewhere around 7-ish, 7, 8. These were used bearings, so I don't really want to go much more than that. But anyways, there it is. We're going to take a closer look at this. All looks pretty good. If you look at this pattern here, this is actually just about spot on with where the old setup was from whoever I got this from. And if we go around to the front, this thing's heavy, so got this all in there, torqued down. Good to go, got the seal in there. It's all looking fancy. So now, we just got to get it slapped in the car, and then this part will be done, which has taken pretty much most of the day to do. But, you know, what are you going to do about that? So, probably going to go into a day 2 to do the rest of the stuff. I am going to just slap this in there and try to get moving on the rest of it. I'm going to leave the axles out for now. I just want to get this bolted in, so it's just, we can just call that done. And then I want to start running this power wire and just see how far we get on it tonight. So probably going to do this off camera, and then we'll just pick back up on that tomorrow, which you're going to see that in about 10 seconds. So, and then we'll try to get that test fire going so that way you can hear this baby purr like we had mentioned earlier. So let's get right into it. Let's get all that done and get her going. Okay, so yesterday after we finished up the rear end, we kind of screwed around with getting the wiring ran to the battery in the trunk, and then this morning we ran to South Carolina, so kind of got back here and just wanted to get things done so we could get this video made. And we got the wire ran from the starter right down here, and it's kind of right along the subframe there, or the K-member, and then it runs up into the floor there. I might change that eventually, but the reason I did that is, number one, it saved me length of wire from having to run it up and around and back through. And then number two, it's going to keep it out of the way of the exhaust when that is ran. So it's kind of up in the air whether or not I'm going to change that. We're just going to have to see how it does once everything's all together. So the other thing that we got done was we got the fuel lines ran. So we are not skilled AN fitting installers, so keep that in mind. They do seal. We did a check on it to make sure they did. And we actually ran it through the car instead of running underneath, which I don't know if that's you know, a legal move at the drag strip, but we're gonna secure it along here and make it look nice and pretty. And then it kind of runs up through the back there, through the plastics, and back into here. So I don't have the fittings that connect to my actual AEM pump, so we just have the return sitting here in this bucket again, and then I have this Miata fuel pump, which should be enough to get the thing just fired up. And then my feed line actually goes through where the old evap vent control solenoid wires went, and then that's going to run along the backside here down where the fuel pump goes. So unfortunately, the fittings that I had gotten with my AEM pump, they ended up being the wrong size. I don't know why, because the sheet that I got told me to order those parts, and then they get here and they don't even fit. So, of course, right? Anyways, so we got this set up, and we've got it all ready to go. I mean, it's really just a turnkey thing. We have our ground set up right here. I'm gonna weld a bolt off of here, or a stud, to attach this ground to. So this is just temporary for now to get this test start done. So I'm going to do a few things to the tune, and then we're going to give that a shot. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to rewrite the PCM with a different operating system entirely. So shouldn't be too hateful.
I can hurt you like you hurt me too.
Okay, so here's the process to get this thing started for you guys. Gotta go back here. And we take our handy dandy fuel pump wire here, and we stick it right on here. We got our pump running. Yep. Yes, we're doing that. Don't judge.
Don't judge now.
You know, if you were excited to start it, you would do the same thing. We got the tune all on there. Not gonna lie, we tested it before we recorded because don't want to look like idiots. So here we go. That is a running 6-liter LS rear-wheel drive Grand Prix, baby. That is sick. That is awesome. Okay, so there it is. It's a running driving 6.0. Well, It's not driving, but it's running. I'm just super excited, so I wish it was driving, but we still got a lot to go. I got to get torque converter bolts and get that bolted up, run the tranny cooler lines, get a drive shaft measured and made, figure out my wheels because I just have the Steelies. I sold those. I don't know. I mean, some of you might know this car and know that I had the F23 cross laces on there. So I don't have those anymore. So I'm gonna slap these on with some spacers until I can get a hold of the funds or whatever I got to do to get some nicer, newer wheels. Because I have to go 0 offset in the back, and then well, like 8 inches wide, and then 0 offset, and then 38 millimeter offset in the front because it's still gonna be like a Grand Prix, width. So, I gotta get the fuel line fittings figured out for the fuel pump, and so on and so forth. Blah 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 blah. But hey, it runs. That's probably the best part. So, anyhow, if you haven't done it already, I mean, what are we on? Like the freaking 5th video of this car? Like and subscribe. That really motivates me to keep it going and get right at this every single weekend. Because I'm telling you right now, the making the videos part, especially with Bobby being here to record, that's easy. Recording the stuff's easy, but the editing, man, it takes forever. So to know that you guys are watching that and appreciating it, that really pushes me to go hard on this thing and just get it done for all of you. I mean, not let alone I want to drive it, but it also gets it out to you guys. So anyhow, we'll see you on the next one, which will be probably just trying to tidy up some of the simple stuff, but got to put that out there anyway. So anyhow, thanks for watching.